So one of the fall traditions we all love and we all observe would be going to the pumpkin patch to pick out your pumpkins.
Do you think everybody loves this? I bet there's some dads out there that are
people
like,
who don't like it.
Football's on and you're dragging me to the damn pumpkin patch.
It's one thing that you at least have fun, because a lot of the pumpkin patches have activities like chuck a pumpkin, or they got the slingshots where you have the apples and shoot them at the targets and stuff like that. Or you just basically bond with other dads who are in the same hell that you are at the time.
I was going to say, you're going to some swanky pumpkin patches, but sure.
So we're going to do our top 3 things that you don't want to see at a pumpkin patch. So the negative part of that. My number 3, all of mine have to deal with people, by the way.
Ooh, I like that
my
twist.
number 3 is the nickname Track Star. So it's the hyperactive kid who is sprinting over the pumpkins as he goes along, at least knocking into 5 different families. But the reason why we don't like the kid, of course, is because we think he's going to hit our pumpkin or maybe hurt our kids. But it's that hyperactive kid we call the Track Star. Usain Bolt would probably be something like this.
The Track Star, yeah. Yes. That kid's everywhere, especially when people are like, they have like the big clippers and stuff, and some kid comes running through. You don't want to take off a leg, you know.
They're trying to hold a bunch of pumpkins and carry them and you get knocked in by the kids.
Yeah, that's why you get your wagon, Jones. That's why you get your wagon. My number 3 is the middle of a corn maze with no path.
Yeah.
Something you don't want to see. I like the corn maze. I'm not a claustrophobic person, but if it's a big enough corn maze and you're off path all of a sudden, and then you turn around and you look all directions and there's no way out, I might start to freak out a little bit.
Is there a person in this world that thinks they are bad at doing corn mazes? Or does everybody just think they're automatically good or above average at doing corn
I don't
mazes?
think I'm great at them. I'll get out, but I'm not like confident, and I just definitely know the way. My 5-year-old is confident. So sometimes we have to rely on that.
It's a scary place to be in corn maze, especially all the horror movies that have been made.
I know. You get into Children of the Corn and Signs and whatever hell else is out there. I'm out. All of a sudden, it gets dark earlier, too.
It does get dark earlier.
It gets dark earlier.
Nippy out there, too.
Nippy. Something that I don't want to see at a pumpkin patch, my number 2, is a sign that says no outside food or drink.
Oh, yeah.
Because how am I supposed to make their cider Dad's special cider, right? Because, you got to try to sneak it in then. I'm not sure I'm liking that. And we all know the drill, guys. You get there, you're playing nice, Dad's special cider comes out, Mom drives home.
You got to do something with your time, right?
Yeah. You're stuck in the corn maze, you might as well have a couple swigs.
It would be a really good thing for corn mazes to have is,
like vendors. Vendors.
Yes, vendors to do it, or you have your own area to where you can pull it out of your car. Go behind a little outhouse or something like that to make that special
I'm picturing
cider.
Vendors, like so you take a left and there's some guy with a cart, and he's like popcorn, peanuts, hard cider. Did you say hard cider, sir? Yeah, and then you give him a tip.
Yeah,
he or she gives you a tip. Head that way, buddy.
I like that. Vendors at the pumpkin patch.
I think we're onto something. You're welcome.
My number 2, guaranteed to happen if you did have vendors at a pumpkin patch, is the negotiator. So yes, Karen for short. Is this pumpkin has bumps on it? This pumpkin smells. This pumpkin is too orange. Whatever the case is, she's going to negotiate for a lower price on her pumpkin. Is something between the weight limit? Some pumpkin patches have the weight limits of pumpkins. She's going to say, it's 1 or 2 ounces over it. Mm-hmm. But it's a negotiator who takes up everybody's time, who's waiting to pay for pumpkins. Just do it, Karen. Give me the pumpkin.
That person does exist.
Yes, every single time you go to a pumpkin patch.
The stem on this is too long. I'll give you $2.50.
Yeah.
It says all pumpkins $4. Give them the $4. Move it along.
It's a family-friendly event. Just make it friendly.
It's not a garage sale, bro.
Yeah. My number 1 is a snot-nosed kid. Especially now because of the coronavirus. You're going to get taken home something other than a pumpkin, and you're have to be quarantined for a little bit. So especially nowadays, something you don't want to see is a snot-nosed kid.
No, that's where I would turn into the Track Star.
Give me up.
My number 1 is also a person, Jones, and I think this is maybe the second mention of this within our Dad's Rank Things Fashion Faux Pas, which leads us to me thinking we might have to do a version 2 of this, because I'll start off with the dad that wears the puffy vest and the long sleeves.
Okay.
But then, these October days can get kind of hot, and you got wife beater dad with the white tank top and the gut hanging out, carrying 2 pumpkins. It's something I
Probably
don't...
3 pumpkins underneath that shirt.
You got another one in there. It's something I don't want to see, and it happens every time when you start shedding clothes because it gets too hot and you're out there cutting pumpkins for your family, and you feel like you gotta show off your guns.
Masculinity. It's always the big guy too. It's never like the really really skinny guy. It's always the big one that has the chest hair popping out, a little few grays.
It's never like
there.
A good normal shaped guy. Yes. It could be the really really skinny guy that you're like, oh, like
you don't want to see the needle marks.
You don't want to see
the
needle marks, like the tats, like but then you get the guy with the big one. So
what happens if two worlds combine and you got the negotiator and the wife beater dad?
Well, they're married.
Yes,
they're married. Let's be
Karen's
honest.
Got Frank.
He's over there with the snot-nosed kid and his wife beater trying to yell at him while Karen's up there haggling for a $250 pumpkin.
And the other kid's running through being a track star, knocking into everybody else.
Enjoy your time, dads.